So the minions go to try to steal the St. Edward's crown, and in the mix, they end up getting chased and they run, whatever, and sword out, like King Arthur, and then everyone bows down, and Bob becomes the king because of it. And I've talked about the Sword and Stone and King Arthur way back when. It talked about the lady in the lake, or whatever, the lady of the lake, or lady in the lake, who supposedly actually really gave Arthur the sword, and how it ties in with Rhiannon and Rihanna, even with Barbados and the Trident and the Eights and Isis. I mean, there's so many things connected to it, but just interesting that Bob becomes the king. I mean, this name loved because it's got the encoded 13 and 13. They even have the Illuminati word that has the Bob, and it's 1313, which, of course, too, is fitting because 13 and 13 is 26, and the Queen is all about the 26 and 62. But I also remember I made a video about Mitch Hedberg, the comedian, and he even has the joke where he says that a bee, or I can't even remember how it goes, but he says that a bee looks like a scrunched together 13, and then he talks about staying on the 13th floor of the hotel, and then he ended up dying on the 88th day of the year, mysteriously from a drug overdose. I made a whole video on it a long time ago, but just found that interesting. And then the 26, there's so much stuff with the number 13 in general. You can just look it up, just even like type in Illuminati 13 or something on a Google or Yahoo search, and you'll find tons and tons and tons and tons of stuff about it. I can't even think here. So also, like, Pope Francis became Pope on 3/13. If it'll ever type in here, 3/13 of 2013. So I don't know. It's just kind of weird. I guess there's two 13s in that. It's not necessarily the 13013 or the Bob, but I don't know. Just pointing that out. Also, I guess 13 could also be M, because M is the 13th letter. Could be like MOM, something to do with mom. The Queen's, I don't know. Queen is a mom. I don't know. But just throwing that out there. Or even like in Pythagorean gematria, the 13 would actually be like if you change, I guess, if you change the M to what it would be in Pythagorean gematria, it'd be 3 plus 1, so it'd be 404. And that's like how many verses are in Revelation. Could even be, since B is the second letter, it could be 202, or even B's look like 8s, could be 808. Just throwing that all out there. Gonna go back to the movie now. So Bob's the king then, and they do a little scene where they're playing around or whatever. And then right before the Scarlet Lady, she finds out that he actually becomes king. And the Scarlet Lady comes in, basically to fight them or whatever, because she thinks they betrayed her. But they show Bob sitting on this white horse. And they even have a picture drawn of him on the white horse, the pale horse. I mean, you cannot make this up. Now, I'm not sure exactly what part they're doing it from, but from Revelation 6, I mean, it even says, "And I saw and behold a white horse, and he sat on him, had a bow and a crown, and was given unto him, and he went forth conquering and to conquer." I mean, so he's sitting on this white horse with his crown and whatever. And I don't know. I'm assuming that's what they're referencing here, because the Queen Elizabeth and all the 62s and the 2 6s, I'm assuming, so it's 6-2. But also, as you read here, there was the red horse and the black horse, and then the fourth beast came, and he was on a pale horse as well. And it says, "And his name that sat on him was Death, and hell followed him, and power was given unto them over the fourth part of the earth to kill with sword, and with hunger, and with death, and with the beasts of the earth." But what I found interesting is as you keep on reading, it says, "And I beheld, when he opened the sixth seal, and lo, there was a great earthquake, and the sun became black as sackcloth of hair, and the moon became as blood. Now, that's some crazy stuff, because everything they've been foreshadowing has been about a giant earthquake, or they've been foreshadowing earthquake like crazy and tons of stuff. We've been mentioning it for months now. And then also, the day after the Pope leaves America, there's going to be the blood moon, the last blood moon. So, I mean, literally, that's some crazy stuff. And I just say crazy just because they actually put that in this movie. But I'll play the clip here. I think you can get a better look at him sitting on this horse here. Well, my computer's going super skipping, but you can see it a little bit better. That it was actually, he really is sitting on a white horse. So at the very end of this movie, then, they defeat Scarlet, and the queen gets her crown back and all that. And they give the three minions prizes. They even knight Kevin. But then the queen realizes that she's missing her crown. And Scarlet had came back and stole the crown, but then the guy from the original movie of Despicable Me, he freezes her and then steals the crown. And then the minions, they love him or whatever, and they want a new follower. So then they follow him, and it's kind of like so this whole movie is basically like a prequel to the Despicable Me or whatever. And I guess what I'm thinking, so this guy is actually voiced by Steve Carell. And Steve Carell was born the Jam Day 8/16 of 1962, and he is 52. So he will be 53 here in a couple weeks. But I mean, he's really well known for the movie The 40-Year-Old Virgin. And Enter the Stars made a video. Basically, it's a really good Decode or whatever part. There's 3 parts to it, but I definitely would come watch this. But basically, this whole movie, he is showing that they are actually mocking Jesus, because that's what the 40-year-old virgin is and whatnot. And I just found it kind of interesting, because a lot of films, they always have sympathy for Lucifer in them. There's always a Lucifer character, and there's always the God character or whatever. And they always seem to have sympathy for the Lucifer character. But this guy is supposed to be the evilest person ever, right? So it's kind of interesting that the guy who voices him is also the 40-year-old virgin. So they're making this guy out to be super evil, and the minions are going to follow him because he's the most evil or whatever. And then he's voiced by the same guy who is basically Jesus and the 40-year-old virgin. So I guess the only way that what I just said will even make sense is you need to go watch this 3-part series, and I think you'll pick up on what I'm actually saying. I just found that kind of interesting that they would do that. The minions want to follow the evilest person, and then this guy, they end up following a guy voiced by him, and he's also the 40-year-old virgin, where they basically mock Jesus the whole movie. So. But yeah, I'm just gonna end it right there. I don't know. I haven't seen these other movies in a long time, so it kind of makes me want to go back and rewatch them and see how they tie into this movie, and to see more of what I'm talking about. But yeah. But like I said, that's all I'm going to talk about. I'll try to leave the links to these 3 videos here in the description. That way you can go and check them out. But have a great night.